A very warm welcome to you. It's a pleasure to have you for company on this edition of the program. As you know, we are your source for all the latest happenings in the world of business. My name is Margaret Mary Osiobo. On this edition, we begin by joining Faith and her guests on the town hall for the continuation of their explosive session on fraudulent claims in the Nigerian insurance industry, facts or fiction. While underwriters say that fraudulent claims have been on an increase because of the recession, members of the public believe that underwriters just latch onto that to deny paying genuine claims on time. Do take a listen.
As I'm turning down your claim, I must be able to give you the reasons or reason why I am turning it down.
On this edition also, we will bring you highlights of the annual Corporate Governance Conference recently put together by the Society for Corporate Governance Nigeria at the Ballroom Oriental Hotel, Victoria Island, Lagos. The theme was institutionalization of corporate governance as a tool for national economic development.
Corporate governance has gone from good to have to a must-have.
Plus, of course, our quick fact segment and all the other extras we bring you on this program. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the lineup. Details in just a moment. Please stay with us.
Okay, so do you see instances of the contrary of what you were saying, where a business that comes through an insurance broker who is satisfied, we are saying that, okay, the broker ought to have known that this claim won't fly, and they still go ahead to,
yes.
to present
we are seeing situations that a claim is notified, later the broker will write us that we should close our file.
That's not taking up.
Yes, not taking up. They may not disclose to us the reason why they are taking that action. But we have seen cases like that.
Okay, now let's talk in this market, Mr. Shino, from your experience as a claims person. If for a fact that people present fraudulent claims, what classes of business attracts frauds the most?
There is virtually no class that does not attract fraudulent claim. You will have even think that, oh, the GPA, PA, whereby is also a professional body that is attached to giving these records, as in medical doctor, they also contribute to fraudulent claim. By you, somebody says, oh, I have a headache. You want him to go and do a clinical analysis on his kidney.
What's the connection?
What the connection is totally wrong, but you still see them because they want to earn money from that opportunity. They ask the person to go and do such tests, or even some tests that are not relevant to the ailments, or even in a case of an accident, you want to do extra tests on the person, and ordinarily you know where you are going to, but because it is an opportunity for you to do some clinical analysis that you on somebody, naturally you know that nobody will come to the hospital and say, I surrender to you, do a test on me. So you subject that person, because this is an opportunity for me to really do a clinical analysis on this area of a person. So
okay, now there's something I want us to clarify here on set, based on what you just said. Now I'm going to use motor for example. If I have a mechanic that's fixing my car that I'm used to, I know he's very good, but I know he's also his charges are relatively on the high side because he's good. And I have insurance on my car, and that car is involved in an accident. And I said, naturally, I want this mechanic to fix it. But you insurance people, you have your own maybe mechanic that you use that is a bit cheap, he can do all that. If I insist and I present my claim based on the person I've had relationship with before who is fixing my car, that I know for a fact his fees are on the high side, will that qualify or classify my claim, or me that is filed the claimant as being fraudulent?
No.
Okay.
Normally, even the normal thing is that it is the claimant that will take his vehicle to his garage where he normally services the vehicle.
Okay.
And he will submit estimate.
Yes.
We have engineers that knows, automobile engineers that knows about this thing. They will have to take that estimate, go and meet the garage, discuss, they will check all the items one by one. A situation whereby you say pointer is affected. Everybody, both the garage and the engineer will see it. Whether this, it's possible for a garage to include parts that are not affected by the accident. It's possible.
Okay.
But by the time our engineer gets there, they want to check it, they check it one by one. And the engineer, because of his experience, they do market surveys on daily basis. They have idea of the prices of all these things. So where the price is on the high side, they want to discuss with the garage to beat it down, and they agree. And most of the time, there is an agreement form which our representative, our engineer, and the garage will sign that this amount has been agreed on for the settlement.
Okay, Mr. Adebayo, I'm still, because I'm speaking here from the perspective of those who buy insurance, and based on what I hear all the time, even on my radio program. Now, Mrs. Ifemade referred to utmost good faith. So how come when it is now time for me to claim, that law of utmost good faith does not apply on the part of the insurance company? Because your engineer will come and check. In that process of checking, is you already suspecting me? That's the way I feel.
No.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I'm just going to try to make this simple, and I will use a real life case that we handled.
Okay.
Now, we have a customer who happens to be a female, fortunately, because of what you said, and who has this mechanic that's been, attending to her car. Apparently, this mechanic has been overcharging her. I know females, you hardly know so much about cars. So a driver usually take the car to the mechanic and everything. Now, this car was involved, and it's a high-end car, was involved in an accident on Third Mainland and hit another car. So because she had comprehensive insurance, naturally our insurance will take care of her own car and the other person's car. Now, this other person's car is a male, is a matured male, and happens to be someone in the entertainment industry, so it's like a popular person. Okay. Now, the two cars were taken to the garage. What Adebayo was saying is that it's a matter of suspecting. When you submit an estimate, it comprises of the damaged parts that are to be replaced one by one, and then you have the label. Okay. So the parts that we discovered that most artisans, particularly mechanics, they try to make their money from the parts. So a part that ordinarily would cost 10,000, they'll probably tell you, oh, it's 50,000, depending on how deep they assume your pocket is. Because that's why they make their money. Because if they say this is labor, you're going to negotiate labor. So to make that extra money, they inflate the prices of those parts.
Okay, so in the process of inflating the price of the parts, is it the insured that is doing that? We are talking about fraudulent claims now. Do they do that in connivance with the insured?
No, in most cases. That's why I was trying to tell you this example. Okay. Because at the end of the day, the way it played out was this. The other party, third party that was hit, submitted his estimate, and his own car the damage to his own car was more extensive than our own insured vehicle.
Okay.
Now, and in spite of that, the estimate is submitted, and he even took his own to a car shop, not a roadside mechanic.
Okay.
Car shop, because the car was relatively new. Car shops are assumed to be
most expensive, yes.
Because they don't want to buy any substandard parts. And in spite of that, his own estimate was way lower than the one submitted by the insured, based on what his own mechanic prepared. So by the time the engineer from the insurance company went there, it's like, what happened here? And he actually told the guy, where did you tell madam this part cost us? You and I know this is how much it costs. That was when the woman discovered for the very first time. In fact, the mechanic had to tell her, had to appeal to her that, okay, he's not going to cheat her again, he's going to do a good job and everything. So that's the way it plays out. So the fraud is not from the insured. It's not the insurer that is trying to deny a claim. It's just somebody out there that's trying to take advantage of the incident to make money. In this case, the mechanic, and it was found out.
Okay, now, Mrs. Oshinowo, we've heard this issue of fraudulent claims. If it's you and Mr. Adebaba, let me speak to you first. Fraudulent claims all the time. Mr. Adebaya has confirmed it, that even sometimes businesses that are procured through brokers are also, sometimes they also present involved. Now, if it's that much, how come we've not heard insurance company prosecuting people who presented fraudulent claims in the industry?
Thank you very much. It's not as if we cannot prosecute, but the person you fight with today, you can't go back to him tomorrow for business. So you have to be very clearer in doing it. Okay. That I'm turning down your claim, I must be able to give you the reason why I am turning it down. And if you want to process it further, want to argue it further, since I have evidence, because while we send engineer, loss adjuster, they will come back with facts, but we keep it to ourselves. But if he now wants to turn it, make drama out of it, then we unleash whatever information that we have enveloped away from him by denying him that claim, then we unleash it. So if he wants to go to the courts, we are also ready. It's not as if we are not ready to prosecute. But in most cases, when they now discover that you've seen the truth, they mellow down. Yes, they will come to you, okay, what can you do? You actually saw that I sustained a loss, what can you do? A case of somebody setting his building on fire.
Does that happen in this market?
They still do it. A dilapidated building can be insured specifically because they want to do such. And after a while, they'll set it on fire.
Okay, now, before I come back to this issue of people intentionally setting their houses ablaze just because they want to claim on insurance policy, I don't know, in the UK market, for example, they have a fraud bureau where they have warehouse data of fraudulent claims and all of that. So how come this market has not deemed it fit to begin to think in that direction or even have something like that in place?
All right, thank you. We are day in, day out, we are developing. There are various things that have been developed towards that line. Like presently, the Nigeria Insurance Association, they have Nigeria Insurance Industry Database platform,
okay,
whereby all vehicles that are insured with all registered insurance companies will be banned. And this is to avoid double insurance. Yes, insurance. I think some years ago, maybe about, I can't remember now, I read it in the paper, they discovered that a particular client insured the same vehicle in 4 different insurance companies. He has successfully claim in about two of the three.
Yes.
All right. So I think it was in the process of when it was processing the fourth one. I think this NID has already
be
in place, and it was discovered at that point. So we are making progress in that line. And recently, some people, they have introduced this anti-fraud software,
yes,
but it has not fully been tested. I know with time we will definitely get there.
Okay, now I still want to come back to the question I asked you before, why nobody has been taken to court because they presented fraudulent claims. Because we do know that majority of the insuring public, they have this belief, real or not, we don't want to go into that, but they just have this belief that insurance companies, they don't pay. They don't settle claims, so don't bother with them, don't waste your time. When they will come and tell you sweet mouth, when something happens, you will see the other side of them. But sometimes, is it not, don't you people think that sometimes it's because nobody has been prosecuted? These same people, you say, okay, let's, for the sake of future business relationship, let's allow it to sleep. When they go back to the public, they won't tell members of the public, their friends, by that I mean their friends, their associates, what they did. They will just say, oh, insurance company, you know I suffered a loss, and they refuse to settle the claim. Have you guys thought in that direction?
Thank you. It's not as if we are not thinking in that direction. And when need arises, we do prosecute. But it's not in all cases that we do prosecution. We do prosecute.
The 2017 Insurance Consumers Forum holds on Wednesday, October 25th, 2017 at Kano Hall, Necker House, Hakim Balogun Street, CBD, Alausai, Keja, starting from 9:30 a.m. Theme: Insurance Penetration in Nigeria, shifting focus from policies to providing value for the customers. Chairman, Mr. Chike Mokunye, former GMD Royal Exchange PLC. Guest speaker, Professor Festus Ekpetimehi, first Professor of Insurance and Risk Management in Nigeria. Discussant, Mr. Valentine Ujuma, MD CEO, FBN Insurance Limited. The 2017 Insurance Consumers Forum, a platform for insurance stakeholders and the insuring public, is sponsored by NEM Insurance PLC and FBN Insurance Limited. For inquiries, call 080-333-57879, 0812-362-4081, or visit our website www.almondfinancereport.com. Powered by Almond Productions Limited. Admission is free.
Alright, welcome back. Many thanks for still staying tuned. Moving on now, we'll bring you highlights of the annual conference of the Society for Corporate Governance Nigeria, which took place recently at the Oriental Hotel, Victoria Island, Lagos. The theme was institutionalization of corporate governance as a tool for national economic development. Keynote speaker was Professor Mervyn King, formerly of the Supreme Court of South Africa. It was a roll call of corporate players. Enjoy it.
The Society for Corporate Governance is a registered not-for-profit organization committed to the development of corporate governance and best practices in Nigeria. It aims to be the recognized reference point both nationally and internationally in matters related to corporate governance and provide a template for formulation and enforcement of corporate governance standards for Nigeria and other emerging economies using the tools of rankings, seminars, workshops, and training. The Society for Corporate Governance Nigeria recently put together its annual Corporate Governance Conference in Lagos. The theme was Institutionalization of Corporate Governance as Tool for National Economic Development. Welcoming participants to the conference on behalf of the chairman, Professor Chris Ogbeche, member of the board, said they have enjoyed healthy support from their members.
The Society for Corporate Governance Nigeria continues to drive knowledge on the subject of corporate governance through training, breakfast meetings and conferences, trust and bliss, with the cooperation of regulators like the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation, Pension Commission, National Insurance Commission, Securities and Exchange Commission, and the Nigerian Communications Commission.
Setting the tone for discussion before the keynote speaker, Professor Fabian Ajogu, SAN, said that companies are now compelled to report their corporate governance structure more than ever before.
More than ever, companies are now compelled to communicate their governance structure effectively to stakeholders. You will be receiving this morning a comprehensive report on corporate governance reporting from the 30 most capitalized companies in the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
Delivering the keynote address, the keynote speaker, Professor Melvin King, SC, Chair, King Committee on Corporate Governance and formerly of the Supreme Court South Africa, said that if a company loses its integrity, it has lost everything.
It's been proven time and time again. The great companies of the world have been built on foundations of integrity. Lose that, and you lose everything. So the King 4 Basics, I've developed an acronym ICRAFT, so you'll never forget it. I is for intellectual honesty. That honest application of mind where you have to cross the self, S-E-L-F river. Leave behind self-interest and self-concern. Frightened to take this decision because maybe it'll turn out to be wrong and I'll be sued for damages by the company. Self-concern results in risk aversion. Bad for the Nigerian economy.
Given a high-level presentation of Professor King, participants had questions. The high point of the conference was a conferment of Professor King as a fellow of the Society for Corporate Governance Nigeria.
I am delighted to receive this fellowship. I have received awards from all over the world, to get it from one of my African countries. This is my continent. Delights and thank you very much. Thank you.
The corporate governance report of 30 most capitalized companies in Nigeria was also unveiled. There is no doubt that corporate governance is the lifeblood of modern-day business that wants to remain relevant and add value to society.
And that does it for us on the program this week. I do hope you enjoyed every moment spent. Do join us again next week for another fresh package. But in the meantime, feel free as always to connect with us on all our social media platforms. You can also visit our website at www.almondfinancereports.com. For those in Ibadan and its environs, you can also catch this program on BCOS Television Ibadan every Thursday at 6 p.m. The 2017 Insurance Consumers Forum is just 6 days away. Have you made plans to attend? If not, what are you waiting for? It is the biggest gathering of insurance customers, both individual and corporate, in Nigeria. It is scheduled to take place on Wednesday, 25th October 2017 at Kano Hall, Neka House, Alausa, Ikeja. The time is 9:30 a.m. and the good news is admission is totally free. This event is courtesy our sponsors, FBN Insurance Limited and NEM Insurance PLC. It is also proudly supported by NCRIB, that is Nigerian Council of Registered Insurance Brokers, and SCIB Nigeria Limited. Until next week, thank you for your time. My name is Margaret Mary Osiobor. Do enjoy this funny commercial from AmeriQuest as our parting shots this week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.